In today's video, we're going to be working on a Toro Recycler push mower with a Tecumseh 6.5 horsepower engine. The carburetor needs rebuilt, so we're going to take care of that coming up right now. Hello everybody, Rudy here from Tecumseh Productions. Today we're going to be rebuilding this carburetor on this Tecumseh 6.5 horsepower engine. Got the rebuild kit right here. Part number is 632760B as in Bravo. I've had better luck rebuilding these than I have cleaning them, so we're just going to go ahead and rebuild it right off the bat and save a step. Now, just so you know, some of you might see this as the hard way, but I see it as the easy way. There's two bolts here. One you can get to real easy, and the other one's way back here. Kind of hard to get to. So I'm going to choose to take these two bolts out, which of course now the muffler's in the way, but it's all easy stuff to get to. That's just my way of doing this. If you can get to this bolt without taking the muffler and all this stuff off of there, then more power to you. But I'm going to choose to go that route because it's easier for me. Especially if you have power tools. That's a 7/16 on the muffler, and this one here at the bottom of the carburetor is a 3/8. Now one thing that you should do if you haven't done it already is either drain the fuel out of the gas tank or use vice grips like this and pinch off the fuel line. If you suspect the gas is bad, you might as well drain the fuel out. Just be real careful with this gasket right here. It should pop off pretty easy. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get the linkages loose. Probably have to get the fuel line loose here before I can get that linkage out of there. All right, got the fuel line off. That one was being a little stubborn. Breather. Now we can get, there we go. All right, got the carburetor off. Let's reset the camera and get a top view going. Some of the gas is spilled out and it stinks. So it's definitely got a lot of bad gas sitting in there. We're using a 3/8 and a 7/16 wrench to get this part loose. Now, like I said, you could do this on the mower if you wanted to fight with that back bolt, but I didn't do that. You might even be able to get away with leaving this on there to clean the carburetor out, but we're going to go ahead and pull it off just for the sake of it. Yeah, that gas is pretty right. This one you can get with a Phillips. Hopefully our rebuild kit has a new gasket, but I'm going to save it in case. And then of course the bowl, 13 millimeter. Oh yeah, that, ooh yeah, beautiful. Uh-huh. Okay, I'm sure you see this little red emulsion tube sticking up right there. Let me see. So basically all you really need to do is take a screwdriver and kind of push on it, get it going down, and it should kind of pop out of there. It's being a little stubborn. You could take something like this with a point on the end of it and kind of push it to get a little farther down. There we go. It's coming out. It's just been in there for a while. All right, there we go. And got both gaskets, as you can see, right here. Now, a couple of things. If this thing is real tight and it doesn't want to come out, it's real easy to damage the end of that. So be careful with the screwdriver, because when you're trying to push on that, you can very easily damage it. Spray some kind of lubricant in here maybe to help it come out, but don't push very hard on that when you're trying to get it out. Another point is this one came out with both gaskets, but sometimes this upper gasket right here will stay up in the tube, and it's a real pita to get out of there. So you can take a tool like this. See, I bent the end of it. Just something like that to kind of go up in there and poke around and try to get it out. If that doesn't work, I've even taken a drill bit and kind of do this to get it loosened up, you know, a few times, and then go back with something like that and kind of try to pull it out of there. Because unfortunately you can't go in through here to push it out, so you got to pull it out somehow back there. Anyway, those are just little tips that I've learned through the years, and moving on. Let's get the seat out. Same method. I'm going to use this little hook. You could probably use a paper clip or anything like that that'll go in there. Kind of hook it around there and try to hook it and blow it or pull it out. There it went. It hit me, but it's gone. Okay, almost all apart. We got one more screw here. There she is. Get that one out. Basically just make sure that that's clean and then put it back. But I'm going to leave it out for the moment until I clean the carburetor. All right, let me cut the camera. Basically all I'm going to do is take some carburetor cleaner and spray it through all the little holes I can find, and then blow some compressed air through everything. That's all I'm going to do, and I'll come right back. Okay, got the body of the carburetor cleaned up best I could. It's not too much to it. On the emulsion tube, just make sure you clean something through the middle. And there's a little hole here. Let's make sure all the holes are clear. Probably going to take these O-rings off. Okay, anyway, got the O-rings off. Just make sure you got the little holes cleaned up. Now this bowl looks like hell, so what I like to do on these, get a little bit of liquid in there, take some steel wool. That's good, and then I'll just take a rag and clean it out. All right, should look something like that when you're done. Okay, definitely going to want to do something here. Don't forget, there's a pretty small hole in the middle of that, and you got to get that cleared. Doesn't need to be real tight, just kind of snug is all this is. That's it. All right, we got it all cleaned up. Now we can start putting it together. Okay, we're back. Gonna go ahead and put the seat in there for the needle. One thing to observe, the side that has the ridges goes in first. You might not be able to see it on the camera, but there's a smoother side and there's a side that's got ridges in it, so make sure and put that up in there first. And what I usually do, instead of trying to drop it in there, because it usually winds up doing somersaults on the way down, and then by the time it gets down there you can't tell if the right end is up or not. I have a little punch here that I got from Harbor Freight. This is a whole, let's see if I can get it in the view here. It's a whole set of them. And just find the one that fits. It's got a flat end on it. A drill bit would probably work. Just use the flat end of a drill bit to hold that straight up and down like that. And of course I'm not going to be able to show that on the camera, but it's going to go in here right where it came out of. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and push that down on there. Just work it on down to the bottom. Alright, that should be down. Go ahead and take the float with the new needle. It just goes up in there just like that. That float should sit pretty level. It's pretty good just like it is. If it's not level, there's a little metal tab there underneath the float that's pushing on the bottom of the, right here, it's a metal tab right in there. Yeah, you couldn't see that. Right there. You can bend that around a little bit to get the float to sit level. Before we put the bowl back on, I guess I better put this emulsion tube back or it's definitely not going to work too good. Let's put these little O-rings on there. Just like that. And I usually take a little drop of oil and put on those just so that it'll go up in there a little easier. Alright, just put one drop of oil on there. If you're concerned about the oil damaging those gaskets, I wouldn't worry about it, but if you don't like that step, then you can skip that step. I just think it goes up in there a little easier. Use the back of a drill bit or something that fits in there to push it up in there. And as you can see, it's right there. Now in this bowl, see how part of it is deeper? You're going to want that lining up with the float like that. See, just like that. All right, there we have it. We're probably going to just go ahead and put it back together on fast forward so that you can still see what I'm doing. I just came over here to the other side of the engine real quick before I put the cover back on. I wanted to show you where the model number is located on these things in case you don't know. You got to take the cover off and it's on here. Right here's model number information and all that stuff. Just a little tip right there if you made it this far through the video. All right, everybody, here's the test. I haven't pre-tested this, so we're going to find out together how this thing's doing. Let's give it a prime. And cross your fingers. Looks like it's running pretty good. All right, if you enjoyed this video, click on the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I come out with videos like this as often as I can. Thanks for watching.